Blog Talk Radio.
What is up? Field Street Forum live on the air. We are here on Wednesday, as per usual. We have actual football this week. Cannot wait. We've got, I guess you can count it as actual football. It's Florida and Miami, but we'll see. But it'll be at least it's live football that actually counts in the ledger as wins or losses. No more preseason nonsense. No more camp.
Man,
all that. I'm ready. Man.
Everybody in Athens. Everybody in Athens is a Hurricane fan this Saturday.
Oh, I know. I am so, and that's one thing I definitely want to get into in a little bit is, everything I've been hearing, but it's I'll save that for later, but we got a few things to go over tonight. But I definitely want to get into that, talk about Florida and Miami for that matter, if y'all want. But and who does it help more to win that game for Georgia from a Georgia perspective? So, but we'll talk about that. But man, I'm looking forward to tonight. We've got some big-time guests, a five-star family, five-star recruit. Mekhail Sherman will be joining us later tonight, along with some of his family. Mom and Dad? Jason, you kind of worked on this, set all this up. Was it family or mother?
Dad,
sister?
Sister, and her boyfriend. I don't think it's husband yet. I think they're about to be married, and possibly mother.
Okay. All right. So definitely looking forward to that. Of course, talking to Mekhail Sherman will be awesome as well. I'm hearing his thoughts about, heading to Athens, what kind of led him to Georgia, and how kind of get the family's perspective on it, on the recruitment and college ball and everything. How about?
Yeah, anytime I talk to her, she calls him MJ, so I'm pretty sure that's what those close to him call him. That's why I always put Mekhail and then MJ in parentheses so people know who he is.
Okay.
Because I know everybody usually says Mekhail.
Right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk, of course, about recruiting, SVP action, committing to the Dogs last week. We've got, of course, the latest from fall camp for Georgia. Like I said, maybe some new segments coming up tonight. Give some predictions and prognostications for both Georgia and some of our opponents and rivals this year, maybe just college football in general. And then if we're done by everything by then, we'll wrap it up and head on out and get ready for football this week. Plus, not only college ball, but high school ball definitely kicks off in earnest this week. So definitely looking forward to that. But I'm your host, The Real Dre, joined by Jason Harry Dog. I got something for you, Jason. Jason Harry Dog. Is that better?
Yeah.
baby.
Got rid of the mystical edition of Return of the Mac. I swear to God, you said you wanted it, but you say you didn't. I never liked the song, but who doesn't like this song? I mean, come on. Good to go, baby. And our boy Dustin has joined us. Made it onto the show, ready to rock and roll. He's been doing everything. Probably just came from the gym, working out, showing out for everybody in the gym. We'll see. What's going on, Dustin?
What up?
How are you, my friend?
Man, that dude wasn't in no gym. He was coaching girls soccer, man.
Oh, well, he always has his Planet Fitness. If you check his Snapchat, he's always got Planet Fitness pictures up. So, throwing some weight around at Planet Fitness. No lunkheads or whatever, right?
He's trying to be like Terrell.
I invited Jason, but he didn't come.
Dude, Terrell don't go to no Planet Fitness, man. He goes to like hard iron gym or something like that. You know, he goes to one of those kind of gyms.
He goes to the one don't have their air conditioner. He goes to one don't have their air conditioner.
He goes to the old school barbell. You know, the bench has got like rips in the cushions and it's got like duct tape on it and stuff.
It's like he's like in the gym and the boxing ring and Rocky's trainers and right next to him.
And he's got chains on his weights.
Chains on his weights. He's got buckets of sand for squats and deadlifts and stuff. Old school gym, baby. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. So camp is rolling along. We got lots going on. The media gives their report. They only see about 10 minutes. We did have a couple of folks who were in practice for the scrimmage last week, so that was a nice report we got. We may share some of that with you, may not. It depends on how much trouble, maybe now that it's a scrimmage and it's a couple of days old, maybe we'll give some of those news and notes out. I don't know, but the things that were reported, and I'll let you guys I'll just give a couple of highlights that I've thought of, and then let you, Dustin, you can go first, and then Jason, what's standing out to you from camp. But DeAndre Swift in the black no contact jersey.
Why doesn't he go?
Because he's younger, I guess. I don't know.
Nah, let Jason go.
Is that because he works out? Is that because he works out and I don't?
Going for big rings with the soccer team, man. But no, DeAndre Swift, no contact black jersey on. Jamari Sawyer was hurt, and no Nakobe Dean today. So a little concerning, but I don't know. What else besides that, and kind of tell us a little bit more about that, Dustin?
No, I mean, just injury-wise, you're looking at Swift, and we had Sawyer. He was in a walking boot yesterday, so those are the two main ones, but Kirby thinks they're not major. I guess the one new from last week is you're seeing Landers on a lot of the first-team reps in the last 3 to 4 practices, so he might be finally breaking out a little bit.
Sweet. Definitely. Can always use 6'5", 6'6" wide receiver coming on strong. Justin, I know Jamari Sawyer is one of your man crushes. So have you recovered from possible injury news? Walking boot.
Yeah, I'll be all right. I watched the Mays interview yesterday. He got the interview after practice, and that guy's ready to eat. They were talking about, was he happy about being a freshman All-American? He's like, I don't even care about that anymore. I got bigger goals to hit this year. So I'm looking for that guy to possibly at least make second team All SEC this year. That's my bold prediction for the year.
I'm telling you right now, I'm legit scared of him.
Cade is intense, man.
In his interview, he legit thought he was going to, in his mind, he knew he was going to take Wilson's spot. Which is kind of crazy if you think about being a true freshman.
Yeah, right. And replacing somebody like that with that kind of size and came in with that same kind of. Well, he was a high 4-star or 5-star himself, wasn't he, Wilson?
Yep.
Yeah. Jason, what's your takeaways and thoughts on camp so far?
So far, they'll all be fine.
Okay.
I think they're purposely giving Swift rest. I don't think he's hurt. If he was legit hurt, he wouldn't have been running he wouldn't have been running everything full speed today. They just put him in black jersey so he didn't get hit.
Mhm.
I think they know they have to take care of him this year because there's not all these tons of running backs.
I mean, it's crazy you say that, but it's like we still got like the number 1 running back in the country from 2 years ago. We got the number 6 running back from 2 years ago. Harrion has got tons of experience. Kenny McIntosh has kind of made a big impression on Georgia folks too.
Well, here's my thing though. I mean, as much as you love Harrion, as much as you love McIntosh, you're going to either have to have Swift or Zeus at least 90% to really, really do something this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think they're purposely going out of their way to not wear Swift down.
Yeah.
And take care of him more, somewhat more than what they did last year.
Mm-hmm. Which last year he kind of really hit his stride the last quarter of the season too, Like, seemed like the bigger the season got, the better he played. Those last 4 games, Auburn, Kentucky game, that was all for everything in the East and Tech, and seems like he really turned it on as the later in the season. So if we see that, and he's already a little bit rested up, or maybe not quite as many touches, not quite as worn down as first half of the season, could see some big things. How much of what the media sees in camp right now in practice is Kirby using to maybe, give Vanderbilt or anybody else some things to think, because we heard the Vanderbilt coach, kind of trying to make it out like, not naming his starting quarterback, because I'm not telling you all that, you think any of that could be, I won't say gamesmanship, but just kind of, okay, you want to play that game, man, we'll do the same thing. We'll give you some, some information or non-information for you to think about too. Does Kirby use the media in that way for that 10-minute visual period that they have?
For Vanderbilt?
Well, Derek May. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
Like, he's, Kirby tries to tweak people when they try to tweak at him, I mean.
Yeah, I don't think we have time to just play around with Vanderbilt. With Vanderbilt, we're just going to be like, this is who we are. That's what we do. We're coming. You know what we're going to do. And you're basically not going to stop it. I mean, sorry. They do always play us tough, though. So, I mean, it is Vanderbilt. But they seem to always play us tough. But, I mean, have fun with your quarterback controversy, I guess. Whatever. I mean,
right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Obviously, as long as we're Georgia's, like I said, it's the first game of the season, so obviously they're going to have the attention of Georgia and the coaching staff and everything, and it's a conference game too. I kind of like that right off the jump. Just so you do, it's a game you should win, but it's still an SEC opponent. It's still a conference game, and they've got enough. I think they have some good skill guys coming back. The running back and the receiver Lipscomb, I think.
Yep.
I mean, they're two of the better skill guys coming back this year in the conference.
Tight end too.
So. Huh?
Tight end too.
Yeah, that's right. He's a big guy too, and a big target. So, it's I like it. I think it's enough to get the team's attention, make sure they maintain their focus, and not it's not like they opened with last year's 1AA team or something like that. It is what it is, and like I said, I think it keeps everybody's focus and kind of gets you through the grind because you're going to be playing a conference game here right off the bat. You better be ready because there's still some guys left. From Kirby's first year when Vanderbilt came out and beat Georgia. So just keep the focus and maintain things, man. So, what else has gotten y'all's attention? Has secondary play or hearing any of the defensive back rotation been any surprise? Maybe DJ Daniel kind of really pushing for being on the front line.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
the reports say he kind of flip-flops back and forth with Campbell on the one, so I think he's legitimately pushing Campbell to maybe at least get some reps on the first game.
Hey,
good.
It may not be the first game of the season, but I wouldn't close my eyes on Lewis Sign, either Seen or Sign, however you say his last name.
Yeah. I mean,
which one is it? I know we talked about it one time. Is it Seen or Sign?
I think it's Seen. Like SCEN. And was it you saying it, or did you hear somebody tell you like they kind of have to redirect him a little bit sometimes, but he's definitely out there making plays and knocking balls down, making tackles, making good, being physical out there and everything. So just kind of have to direct it in the right direction, sort of thing. Jason, was that you talking about that?
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, but I mean, I think from what we heard, we don't want to say too much, but he showed out on the last scrimmage.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was.
Hey, and also, I wouldn't be surprised if you see, especially against Kentucky. Who was it that came up the middle on that one play? It was Adam Anderson and was it Grant?
Tyndall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Anderson and Tyndall.
Yep.
Don't be surprised if you see those two and Nolan Smith on a lot of third downs rushing the passer.
Oh, nice. The young bucks kind of stepping up, huh?
Yeah, dude, they're saying Nolan Smith has some kind of crazy bend where, I mean, he basically doesn't slow down when he bends, and I mean, he's going to be straight nasty. And I mean, probably just like any other freshman, he might have to, build up strength and muscle and all that to be able to be a, first, second, third down guy from the start. I don't know if he'll do that or not. just because, I mean, he's a true freshman, so he might need to be in the weight room for a little longer to really be the guy. That scares the living crap out of me. I'm sitting here looking behind my back.
Camp talk is over. It's time for recruiting.
Why you had to make it so loud?
Yo. But
I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying not to cuss on the podcast as much, but that's gone, son.
that was funny.
I'll be back for the next segment. I have to go to the bathroom. Sorry.
No, but they go on Jason's point even more. I mean, they're going to be rotating so much on the front seven that a lot of these teams their offensive lines are just going to wear it down by third and fourth quarter. I mean, there might be 3 or 4 people on our schedule right now that might be able to withstand the depth.
Yeah.
I have to remember. I have to remember how to take sound clips off of this sucker.
I'm so looking forward to the depth that Georgia's built this year, and along the offensive line and secondary and linebacking edge rushers, guys like that, man. As long as that D line, the interior D lineman can really step up and kind of elevate their game, raise their game, but it's going to only help going against this offensive line for the past 6 months to a year. When they get to the point of playing other offensive lines, I'm thinking they're going to realize, damn, we're pretty good too, So hopefully that's the case. But talk about adding depth to the offensive line. Our boy.
Tonight, I'm in the mood for a yes, sir.
Our boy, Sam Pittman, got him another one. SVP, baby. Cedric Van Pran comes aboard, becomes a dog. Big time get for the offensive line. And, man, Jason, you were all over this one for a while, man. So you tell us all about him and what it means to this recruiting class.
Hey, I did good on this one. I even called it to the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and as far as I know, it was before anybody else did too. So I did decent on that one. Oh, which by the way, in the Dog Nation article about him, they're starting to call him Van Pran - Granger. So I guess it's - Granger nowadays. I don't know if he put like his dad's name on there, hyphenated, and put his dad's name on it. I think that's what he did. But dude, that's your center. Yeah, SVPG.
There you go.
Hey, that's pretty good. I want to be called SVPG. Hey, but that's your center of the future for real.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, he's what, a legit 6'4", 305 right now.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's playing center now, right?
Yeah, he's playing. Yep. Well, I think they move him around some just because he's their best offensive lineman, but yeah. And not to discount anybody that's already on the team, but you bring in a guy like this in time for Trey Hill to get his last year and go. So good timing on the whole thing, and dadgum, look at that offensive line class. And it's easy to sit here and talk on a podcast and be talking crap and all that, and just throw out there, that's the best offensive line class we've ever had. But good gosh, man.
Yeah.
It's hard not to say that. Broderick Jones, Tate Ratledge, Braun, who else we got? SVPG. and Chad. I mean, my God. And the lowest ranked guy is the dadgum meanest one, friggin' K Mays 2.0.
I mean, and Van Prawn Granger is the smallest of the bunch. You just said he's 305 pounds.
And kind of lead into it, you saw Sherman tweeted this past week, said, thank God I have that line to work against. It's going to help him get better. So you might see using the offensive line as a recruiting tool for the defense.
Yeah.
Hey, iron sharp as iron, baby.
Absolutely. Man, what a get. And, just going into Louisiana and getting a kid like that out of there, that is really, really big and not real common. I mean, it doesn't happen a whole heck of a lot. But Pittman is doing it, son. I mean, good Lord. I don't know what the assistant coaching rankings are right now, but Pittman's got to be like, if not one, he's got to be top 3, I would think, if you consider both, completeness of the class and, ranking and star ranking and stuff like that. I mean, he's got to be top 3, top 5 minimum.
Yeah, he's top 3.
I would think. It is top 3? Okay. Man is just doing it. I mean, and the cool thing is, instead of getting, a lot of teams, a lot of schools will get 2 or 3 guys for their recruiting class. I swear it seems like every year he signs a complete, almost like tackle to tackle, like 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a guy that can be your center too. I mean, but they're not locked in. But I'm saying almost every year that he has a full complement of an offensive line. I think that's why you're seeing the depth being built in Athens now. So what else? Where do y'all want to go next? You want to go running back next, or do you want to go tight end talk? Knowing Jason, he probably wants tight ends, but let's go running backs.
Why you gotta do that to me?
A lot of
Look, here's what we got. You always let Dustin go first. You scare the hell out of me with the horn. And then you don't want to go tight ends first and then running back, man. I ain't gonna pick on you about hurting your leg ever again.
Do we get the heard some things soundbite or no?
No, not now, because Drayden screwed me over 3 times. 3 strikes, you're out.
I got to play the horn again to scare him into saying I heard something.
Drayden screwed me over 3 times. You're done. You're done. I can't talk anymore. I stuck my toe.
All right. Just so Jason won't get his feelings hurt. Washington, Gilbert, Theo Johnson, Malik Carr.
Yeah, that probably is.
Man, I know y'all saw that Theo Johnson tweet.
I mean,
I did.
54-inch box jump. 54-inch box jump.
I mean,
standing still.
Oh, look. No matter who Georgia gets for tight end this year, it's going to be a awesome class for the tight end. But Jason, who is it? I mean, do you still? I know we've talked before, and you kind of feel like Gilbert is maybe playing it up a little bit with as far as where he's going. A lot of people have said he's a Georgia lean for a while. Now it's looking like there's a lot of intrigue about where he's going. Maybe he's wanting to play more outside. I don't know. What are you hearing?
Okay. Tell me this. I'm asking the questions now.
That's the way.
If you're worried about the way Georgia's used their tight ends, tell me this. Why would you go to Tennessee to play for the offensive coordinator that was the offensive coordinator for Georgia when we didn't use the tight ends?
Because my buddies are there.
And the Jeremy Pruitt special, which he is absolutely 110% known for, is to tell you whatever he needs to tell you to get you on that campus. It's the Nick Saban special, Jeremy Pruitt special, and I'm not even going to lie, Kirby Smart does it sometimes.
2019 OP.
To tell you what you want to hear so he can get you on campus and then do whatever the heck he wants to with you.
Yeah.
So he's selling the whole wide receiver thing. I mean, I know it works in high school, but this isn't high school. I'm sorry. There's no 6'5", 250-pound wide receiver that runs a 4.8 40.
Right.
Which is it.
Yeah.
So either both ways, you can't tell me anything about Tennessee, in which I still think right now our tight end class is still going to be Washington and Gilbert. I just kind of had to call Pruitt out. I mean, that's really all that was for.
Yeah, but you know what?
But I'm still telling you this though. Knowing and still thinking that it's going to be Washington and Gilbert, I still think Theo Johnson may have the best upside of any of them.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that you don't want to miss on. I mean, I think as long as you get 2 of the 3, I'm cool with it. And I mean, I guess I haven't seen a lot of film on Carr or anything to compare, but
he's good.
Well, check this out. Malik Carr isn't a slouch at all. None whatsoever. And I mean, he's down to Purdue and Georgia, and basically looking at playing basketball too in college. So, I mean, dude, I mean, my gosh. But I'm telling you, Theo might have the most upside of all 3. The things you got to look at is, in which this is the first time I've said anything about this, and I'm not saying it because I don't think we get him or any, crap like that. Oh, we didn't want him anyways. None of that crap, because I still think we get him. But the thing you got to look at with Gilbert is, and I know it's Marietta, but still, he's not playing D1 guys every week. Is there a possibility that he's going to be more like a lot of the Buford players have been and peaking before he gets to college?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my one question mark about him. The big question mark about Washington is, my God, he's freaking 6'8", a freak athlete. But I mean, your thing there is how quick can he pick up the technical aspects of playing the tight end? Because tight ends have to seal people off when they're blocking and all that stuff. So I mean, that's going to be your big question mark with him. And so it looks like right now those two have like 1 or 2 things that they're great at, but it looks to me like Theo has a ton of things that he's really, really, really good at that he could be great at with all of them. I mean, honestly, I don't. I mean, in which with any tight end coming out of high school, you're going to worry about their blocking more than anything right away. But I mean, where are the questions on Theo Johnson? I mean, I don't have any.
He's going to kill it at the combine.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's like seriously, Theo Johnson's like Tony Gonzalez type athleticism.
Right.
And I'm not just, and it's not one of those things where I'm just saying that because I think we get him. Because right now, I think he's the one we don't get.
Right. Could the only question on Johnson be playing in Canada right now and not knowing the level of competition he's going up against?
I mean, yeah, that would be it. But then he's been to the camps too, and he showed out of the camps. Yeah, but I mean, But then you can say the same thing about Gilbert. He killed it at the camps too against other 5-stars. So I mean, if we're just going off of camps, that takes away my question about Gilbert. But I mean,
right?
It's different when you get the pads on against D1 competition too, though. So
All right.
I mean, my thing is, I mean, it's a good question about all three of them. What's Gilbert, Washington, and Theo going to do when they're going against a 6'2", 6'3", 260-pound linebacker that can run like a cat? Because I mean, whoever comes to Georgia might be doing that against Noah Sewell every week, every day.
You also got Todd Hartley, too.
Yeah, Hartley's been killing it so far, certainly on his arrival at Athens. As long as he can coach on the field, dude's going to be another
you got to worry about that.
Major asset for the program. Yeah,
he's young and already got a really, really good resume.
Right. How about staying on? Let's see. Slide over. Well, we got to talk a little bit about running back. There was a little. Everybody thought there might be a commitment today at 3:00. Turned out to be a fake report. Somebody trying to make a name, get some followers, I guess, on Twitter. Zach Evans. Somebody was saying Zach Evans was going to commit at 3:00 today. Wasn't true, but could there be a commitment for Evans very soon, Jason?
I can't do that. I heard some things because you scared me. But I did. Look, everybody hears things in recruiting, and you don't always throw it out there every time you hear something, because if you did, you'd be throwing out lies about 90% of the time. So I would just say take it with a big old grain of salt that it could be Friday.
I can't believe you didn't push the button.
Which one? The horn?
I thought you'd rather push the same button on him again.
Well, that's the end of the segment horn. That's the wrap-up horn.
Okay,
we got to try to, when we hear that,
Look,
we got to wrap things up.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. You push that button on me again, I'm gonna be pushing your doorbell. Because I'm coming in the house and I'm coming to injure your other leg. I'm gonna kick you. No, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna kick you in the calf of your bad leg. Play the horse, scared the crap out of me, man. That was funny.
Hey, man, get Phil's attention.
Oh, it got my attention, all right. It got my bladder's attention. Hey, for real, though. Yeah, I mean, I take it with a big old grain of salt, because, I mean, things could change. I might just be dead wrong or whatever, but I heard Friday.
Mm-mm.
And I tell you, and I actually put this on the front page. I actually heard that it's not as close as what they want to project it to be. And actually, the Texas A&M guy put something out the same that night I put it out that morning that I don't think it's that close. And then the Texas A&M guy, the lead recruiter for 247, the lead whatever insider or whatever they call it, kind of put out there that, you know, he thinks it'll happen soon, and he probably won't even take his official visits before he commits. And I mean, was it kind of, the way I read it was kind of even questioning if he takes the visit. So I mean, he is an early enrollee,
right.
So I mean, you'll have from September, 3 months, you have the season basically. And, you know, and probably MJ, Mekhail, he'd probably tell you more about it later, but I mean, some of these guys get wore down by the recruiting process. I mean, you hear a lot of them talking about it can get to where it's overwhelming. And a lot of them just want to kind of enjoy their senior season and enjoy their part of their senior year and, you know, have it behind them.
Yeah, you got to think.
So, I mean, just being straight up, I don't think it's as close as what's being put out as far as who leads big, and even what he'll do after.
That's what I was going to ask. So are you Lester? Are you less worried about big guy?
Oh, you got that tongue sucker. I was ready.
Hey, are you less worried about him going forward to December? Like after he commits?
I'm not worried one way or another, to be honest, not right now.
Okay. Dang, a lot's changed in the week.
I think he commits soon, and I think it's done. I mean, obviously, with any of them, including MJ, you know. I mean, with any of us, not done until they sign the paperwork. But, I mean, if he commits soon, you always have to keep an eye out for the home team, whether it's somebody committed to Georgia living in Texas or somebody committed to Florida State or Miami or whoever living in Georgia. If Georgia really wants them and they're living in Georgia, you better keep your eye on Kirby Smart. And in the same way, if this dude's, around the Houston area and all that, and, has a big Texas A&M connections and all that, I mean, you'd be dumb if you were Kirby Smart and Dale McGee not to keep an eye out for Fisher and A&M. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be as much of a back and forth as a lot of these guys put out. I mean, these guys got to play it up some for their subscribers and all that crap too. So you got to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think there's going to be a lot of back and forth between 3 or 4 teams or anything like that. I mean, I think he's going to commit to Georgia, and I think he'll probably visit Texas A&M, maybe visit Alabama, but I don't think it's going to be a ton of back and forth like people are playing it up.
I still say, man, that was I think y'all were kind of, or I know Jason always likes to act like, I'm the eternal optimist for Georgia recruiting, but I always felt like Milton and Evans was a possibility, man, and I, because everybody always says, oh yeah, we want to play together in college, but it just seemed to ring a little bit truer with those two. I don't know why, but
looks like these two are serious. Let me tell you something about Dre though. Dre had us getting Kirby Smart 5 stars before Kirby Smart got here. By God, right now, I mean, I could get on any day of the week and just be like, we getting everybody, and it'd be true. Man, Dre has getting C.C. Jefferson, Byron Coward, and like 20 other 5 stars in like the same year, and I'm like, Dre, we can't get 20 out of the 32 5 stars. And this fool picked on me week after week after week after week. We be talking about recruiting. He'd be like, what about CC and Byron? And I'm like, dude, we don't have a chance with them. We're not talking to them.
But there was even a time, at one point, Pruitt almost had you believing that we were getting them. Maybe not getting them, but they were coming to visit fairly often, like more than usual. I think even you started thinking, hey, it might happen.
Pruitt's the king. Pruitt's the king out of getting visits from the big dogs. But that's usually all he gets from them is visits.
Oh, man.
I love it. But, hey, it's just that I could see the potential for players to go to Athens and make things happen now. Now it's finally coming to fruition. Kirby and I are on the same page now, so we're just going to bring in all the best players.
I'm glad we're finally up to your standards.
Oh, Lord. Man. But you're listening to Field Street Forum Live with your host, The Real Dre. It is myself, Jason Harry Dog. We could almost just kind of keep this kind of lower, just kind of have it as a bed to listen to a little bit, you know, as we talk. I mean, it's such a good song.
You're gonna have me singing it soon, and I don't know how to leave the bad words out.
Baby.
And Dustin is joining us as well. A little more new school, a little bit of Drake. He's not really new school because he's about 3 or 4 years old, but that's about how old Dustin is too. So he's about 3 or 4 years old. So got his music going on. We can kind of use that for a bed behind us as well. Listen to that as we chat it up about the Dogs. Football is here this week.
Man,
tomorrow.
You got to play something newer than that for Dustin. He graduated in like 2017.
Hey, do you know what that song says? I want a ring. We getting that ring this year, man. We play it all year.
I mean, I only did the instrumentals because I wasn't quite sure of the lyrics. But I know the lyrics, some of the lyrics, but I tend to overlook them when I'm listening to songs, so I don't want to blow it up here on the podcast.
Hey, Danny Sheridan picked us to get the ring this year.
Dude, I saw that. I don't know if I'm happy or I'm not a huge fan of his normally. Let's see. But yeah, I was surprised to hear that, to be completely honest. And let's see. No games tomorrow. I was thinking maybe there was like a couple small schools playing. Maybe not. I don't know.
Hey, I tell you what does start tomorrow.
What's that?
The Corky Kell Classic. You got some games.
Oh yeah. When is that? Who all? What's the kind of the headline?
I know they're starting in Rome tomorrow night. I think there's 2 games Thursday, 2 games Friday, and like 5 games Saturday. Yeah, tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is like a big time game. Tomorrow you got 5:30 Calhoun versus Ridgeland, and then 8:30. 8:30 is big time. Marietta versus Rome. That's tomorrow night.
Holy cow!
So you talking about Arik Gilbert? I mean, you got Arik and Pearson Bailey and all of them going against Rome, and you know Rome still has some players.
Yeah.
Then Friday, August 23rd, Coolray Field. What is Coolray Field? Is that Georgia State?
Who is it? What's the name of it?
It says Coolray Field. I think that's Georgia State Stadium.
Oh, at the old Turner Field?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Georgia State's, but don't be showing up there on the case of us just saying that. But 5:30 Tucker, Friday 5:30 Tucker versus Archer, 8:30 Milton versus Buford. So I mean, all 4 of those games are big. And then Saturday at Mercedes-Benz, 9 o'clock Kell Mays 11:45 Norcross and Walton, 2:45 Colquitt County, North Gwinnett, 5:45 Brookwood and McEachern, and 8:45 Mill Creek and East Coweta. So, I mean, you're talking big-time players Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
Cool Ray is Gwinnett
real quick.
Stripers.
Cool Ray is what?
Gwinnett team. The 3 AAA
is it?
team.
Okay. There you go. So it's not Georgia State Stadium, so don't go there. Go to the freaking Cool Rays, whoever the heck that is.
He's about to get some bad visitors on the calls.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend for high school ball to keep up with. If you can't make it out to your local high school, check it out. I know Glen Academy here, everybody wants to speak locally real quick. Glen Academy's heading up to Fort Dorchester up in Charleston. They're opening the season up there. Brunswick is opening with Coffee County. And Frederica is actually going to Charlton County this year to open the season. We'll see how Frederica bounces back with no more players and coaches are confident, but I think players and coaches are always confident, aren't they?
Yeah,
they don't have the
somebody
two.
punch you in the face.
They don't have 2 Division I SEC players on the roster this year. They got some good players, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back after last year and play, and then play in GHSA schools instead of GISA. So
well, here's some good competition for the Corky Kell Classic. Friday, 6 p.m., Mallard Creek, Charlotte, North Carolina, versus Dutch Fork from South Carolina. Friday at 9:30, St. Thomas Aquinas, which Marcus Roseby, he plays for them, at De La Salle.
Oh, wow.
And then at noon on Saturday, you got St. Francis Academy, which is a D.C. area. St. Francis is not Mekhail. I think he may play against them, though. They play Miami Central. I mean, then you have Deerfield Beach, Florida, Carroll City, 9 p.m. Saturday, freaking DeMatha versus St. John Bosco.
Oh, wow.
And then you got another one. Then Sunday, Southern Columbia versus Hammond, South Carolina. I mean, dude, them some games.
Yeah. Big time competition to open up the weekend. So, like I said, if you don't check out your local high school game, make sure you watch it on TV. You got, like I said, the Corky Kell for Georgia. You got some games on ESPN. It's all going to be fun to watch and check out and kick off the season, y'all. Like I said, college starts this weekend with week 0. I'm not a huge fan of calling it week 0, but it's kind of dumb if you ask me. But anyway, you got Colgate Saturday. You got Colgate and Villanova kicking off at noon. Sanford and Youngstown at 3. Florida and Miami at 7. And then Arizona and Hawaii will wrap up the first week at 10:30 in Hawaii. Definitely looking forward to that. Dustin, anybody up your way, your alma mater, you want to give a shout-out who they open with, or are they opening up this weekend?
Yeah, we started last week, but Crest High School, Bowling Springs, North Carolina. I will give a shout-out for next Thursday. North Shore's playing KU, Texas on ESPNU. So a week from tomorrow, you can watch Evans play.
Okay. Hopefully, right after the following week of his, hopefully of his commitment to the Dogs, man. Yeah, ESPN, they definitely bring the talent to everybody. You know, the high school and let people see the top talent in the country. Jason, you back? We got
Hey,
the top talent.
I am.
Do we have our guest?
Well, she's also top talent, but she's the 5-star top talent linebacker's 5-star sister.
There you go. That's who we really want
Hey,
to talk
Dog
to anyways.
Nation. I showed up and I'm here, present and accounted for, Lord. Yes, Jesus.
Yes, I am. How are you? I'm Drayton, host here on the show. You've been talking with Jason, and Dustin's with us as well. And so let us know how is it up there going to checking out the Mekhail Sherman and the games and seeing all the talent that he's bringing.
We're ready for all of that. We have our first game on Saturday, so that's the first game of his senior year. We're totally 100% ready for it. There's no doubt.
Gotcha.
Who's their first game against?
Say that again?
Who's their first game against?
The first game is with Miami South Southfield, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, so that's a big-time game.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to actually look at the tape. I usually am on top of my game, but with wedding plans and everything, that comes first.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Dre. First, before we really get into it, congratulations are in order because somebody's getting married October the 6th.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations.
Yep, we're almost there to the finish line.
Now, what I love hearing is that you didn't get a chance to break down tape, which means you like to break down tape of Mekhail's opponents beforehand?
Of course, I like to see everybody play. I want to see what I'm supposed to expect. I want to know, what's happening out there. So I definitely, MJ's playing the PlayStation. You can hear him yelling. But yeah, I usually try to look at everybody's game and, just to prepare myself, to get myself in the spirit. That's my prep zone.
Gotcha. I love that. Talking with Mekhail Sherman, older sister, younger sister?
Older sister.
Older sister, okay. You're getting married. Sorry.
Dre, how would it be the younger sister if he's a senior in high school? We're gonna
I wouldn't think
we're gonna let that one slide, Dre, just so we don't waste our time.
She sounds so young and lovely. I thought that it might have been the younger sister. You never know. I mean,
Lord.
Sure.
So how do you kind of like the second mom to Mekhail, and how many other brothers and sisters do y'all have?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm kind of feel like a second mom. I'm 14 years his senior, so I got a little age on him.
Okay.
I definitely lived my teenage years in my 20s before him, obviously. I just recently turned 31, and I'm very proud of it. There's a total of 4 kids, and I'm the only girl, so I'm the brat, and MJ's the star, and, hey, that's how we do it.
4 kids? Now, did you play sports coming up as well, or what was your
in my freshman year of high school? My freshman year of high school, I played volleyball, but then after the freshman year, I actually decided to take AP courses for my sophomore year, so I forfeited volleyball to take AP courses and just kind of focus on that so I could graduate early, which I ended up doing at the age of 16.
Oh, awesome! Where did you end up going to school?
I started at Virginia State University with the Trojans, and then I came back and finished up at University of Baltimore.
Okay. Wait,
so she graduated at 16, Dre. That automatically makes her smarter than all 3 of us put together.
I was about to say, combined. Wait, is that Maryland, Baltimore, the team that knocked off Virginia in the first round as a 16
No,
seed?
not UMBC, but University of Baltimore. So, right. So it's different.
Gotcha. So how long did it take both you and I guess your mom as well? How long did it take you to like not get worried about, little Mekhail or little MJ out there playing football and maybe getting hit, or does that still happen right now every week?
Well, mom's always going to be mom. She's always going to be concerned about her baby. That's her last kid, and I'm just like, rough it up. That's life. That's part of being a boy, So,
right.
Like I said, mom's going to always worry. That's just a mom thing, and I'm just here to just enjoy the games, make sure he has fun, make sure, that I teach him the right things to do and how to treat ladies, so he has two aspects where he can see how to treat women from mom's point of view. He can see how to treat women from my point of view. And, of course, he has dad, my brothers, and, of course, my fiance. So he has a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm. Now, have you accompanied him on many of the recruiting trips, or did you come down to Athens with him at all? Or
I'm on everything.
How's that going?
So, he doesn't travel alone. That doesn't happen. No, that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a family affair.
Gotcha. What were your impressions of Athens? Was that your first time down there?
I have family in Georgia, but it was my first time in the Athens area. And, I pretty much liked it. I think it was a very comfortable zone for MJ. I think it was something that balanced him out because he's not a party kid. So it's a perfect atmosphere for a student athlete like himself.
All right, you know you're gonna have to tell us. You're gonna have to tell us about the barbecue and the slip and slide.
Well, I wasn't at that trip. My fiance went with MJ, so I can't tell you about it. You have to talk to him about it. So I wasn't there.
Okay.
How excited have you been able to talk with him about like what he wants to focus on, what he wants to major in when he gets to Athens?
That was a conversation that we've been having since his freshman year of high school. To think about what he really wants to do with him, as career-wise. So once we started this whole football recruitment, by that time he had already decided 3 things that he would have wanted to do. And it was just my job to help him narrow it down to 1. Now, given that he might change his mind, which is totally fine, but at least he has a plan. And that's what's most important.
Right. What's he leaning towards right now that you guys have talked about?
He is planning on majoring in kinesiology with a minor in business administration.
Oh, cool. Now, how about what's been your impression as far as the coaches and both? Has there been a coach in Athens that's kind of stood out to you that you kind of started, kind of liked or gravitated towards more than any other? Or?
I was pretty much neutral of all the coaches. My main concern was to get to know them and to make sure that their values and their morals and their principles were aligned with mine. And that was my main focus, to get to know them beyond football. And so they all showed me that, they're real human beings at the end of the day off the field. They have families too, just like myself, and they also have feelings. And they generally have a good interest in MJ, and they generally have a plan for him to succeed. So, it's not just that, but they showed me what they've done with other football players at Georgia, and I was definitely impressed to see that a young man can come in at 18 and walk out at 21 or 20 or whatever it may be with so much more knowledge than he walked in with, and that's very impressive.
Hey, if he takes after Big Sister, he'll finish it in 3 years.
Right?
So we can make it happen, I wouldn't doubt.
That's right.
Hey, so what What is it like being a family, and obviously him being a high-profile recruit and the family of a high-profile recruit, and especially before he committed, could it get kind of overwhelming?
It's fun, and we control it enough to not allow it to get overwhelming. It's definitely a blessing, and I just hope that I am vocal enough and Mekhail is vocal enough where somebody else can raise their son or their brother the way I have raised mine.
But it seems like, to an outsider that doesn't go through this whole process, like, it seems like it would be very confusing because it seems like a lot of coaches kind of spit the same kind of game, like they like to try to say that they're, they're religious or that they believe in, obviously everybody thinks that they have good morals or good values and things. What did you guys do to kind of try to differentiate the real from the fake? Did you guys even run into it? Do you feel like
conversation is everything? Okay. Body language is most important to me.
Right.
You can tell me one thing, but you can show me another. And eye contact, how firm your handshake is, how confident you are in what you say. Those are things that I look for when I meet a coach. And then, of course, knowing that a coach or a school is not just interested in Mekhail, but they're interested in getting to know the family and where he comes from and the foundation that he's built off of. That was the effort that Georgia made, and that was the difference that they made, was the fact that, MJ's a 5-star, he does this, he's the big kid in DMV and blah, 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 but who's behind him? Who's making all of this happen? Who's making sure that he's at practice? That when you go an extra step, that shows that you value not only your players, but your players' foundation and their family. And that speaks volumes.
Sure does. Of course, you don't have to say names or anything, but was there anybody that you got kind of a bad vibe from? Like, you felt like they were trying to kind of shysterish kind of thing, or?
Definitely not. All of the coaches treated me with respect, which was my number one demand. And they respected my position and my authority in MJ's life. So it was not like, no one made me feel more special than the other. It was just that when they saw me, they knew that they wanted MJ Sherman. And if you wanted MJ Sherman, you got to talk to Raisa Sherman. So when you talk to Raisa Sherman, you better come correct or don't come at all. Point blank, period.
I love it. I can tell right now the other kids better not have picked on Mekhail when he was coming up.
I let him fight his battles. I did. I let him fight his battles. But when they got a little bit beyond him, I showed up,
There you go. Love it.
I'll tell you one thing. I like how you guys stay active on Twitter and maybe not, overwhelm the other recruits with Georgia stuff, but then, like how, he was talking about when Van Pran committed, he's talking about having to go against, guys like that every day, making them better. And that's where I saw where I was like, okay, she's getting married soon. But he said something about you came from your bridal shower and about the train. Tell them what you said.
The takeover train don't mess around.
Yeah, takeover train.
Yeah, and it is an autopilot. I can actually go away and walk away and trust that the takeover train picked up another passenger and is on its way to Georgia.
How about
how important is that knowing that he's basically, I mean, and it's not just at Georgia, it's really, at least all of the SEC schools, all those big D1 schools, knowing and especially at Georgia, since they're known as right now having the best offensive line in the SEC or in the nation, really, how important is it knowing that he's going to be going against the best every day?
It is important to know that he's going to be challenged. It's very, very important to me that, he steps out of his comfort zone, because that helps him become a better person, a better individual, a better man. Life is about challenges, and with every challenge you overcome, you have experience, and with every experience you have lessons, and with every lessons you have knowledge and wisdom. So it's a process. So I'm totally for it.
Good deal. Tell me this, Raisha, how about on all these recruiting trips, has there been a family of another recruit or commit or anything that you guys have kind of gotten to know and really like hanging out with on the trips and everything?
No, I'm the life of the party, baby. I love everybody. I don't have any favorites. I love everybody. When you see me, I'm smiling. I'm calling you baby, sweetie, honey pie. So, I don't pick favorites, and I'm just genuine with my personality, my love, and everything that I give, everything I say comes from a good place. So that's how I keep it.
No, if you could pick somebody that MJ would have as a roommate in college, who do you think is probably the leading candidate for right now?
I think it would be cool if him and Kendall Milton room together. That wouldn't be too bad.
Have you met Milton's dad?
No, I have not met him.
That guy is huge.
Well, I will say,
when we saw his commitment video and his dad popped up, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute."
No, I haven't met him. I'll see him at one of the games next year.
No, they after Milton committed, his dad was doing an interview and he was saying they brought up him on Twitter defending his son, and he said he really liked it, how Dog Nation on Twitter really stands up for the recruits. And I know you probably agree with it. Tell us about the love that you've seen people been showing y'all ever since he committed.
I mean, I still get the same love, once he committed, of course, my follower list just, grew out of nowhere, which is definitely appreciated. So, nothing, when I post something and it's interesting, I get a like, I get a comment. Same old Twitter just tweeting away.
Awesome. All right. This is kind of a long shot, but did y'all happen to visit the same weekend Corey Wren took his picture and commitment with the snake? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but when they have the kids wear the uniform, and then take the picture and everything, and Corey Wren's got one with this giant.
I saw pictures like that, but I don't think we were on the same trip when that picture was taken. No, I don't think so.
Would you? Yeah, because it was Keely Ringo's mom too. Yeah.
Yeah, she's brave.
Okay.
She's very brave. Kudos to her. Hats off all day.
You're not a reptile or snake person, huh?
If it's not a dog and not a cat, don't talk to me about
it. I don't blame you. I've grown up in Southeast Georgia, and I'm not a snake person at all. You can keep the snake.
Yeah. I don't.
Not scared of them, but I don't.
I don't do none of that. Nope. So I'll leave that to the expert.
That's great. So Mekhail starts this weekend. Now, did I hear he maybe banged up his finger or hurt his finger somehow, or?
No, he didn't hurt his finger. He had an ACL injury last year, and he missed most of his junior season, so he's returning this year for his senior season.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, what was? I mean, you don't have to get too far into it. What was that like? injury? I'm sure he's kind of down at first.
It was disappointing at first, but I am and my family, we're strong believers in everything happens for a reason. So, you don't curse at it. You just accept it, and you do what you're supposed to do on your part, and God takes care of the rest, and you move on. And that's exactly what happened.
Good deal. I'm glad obviously glad it wasn't quite the, a setback or anything for him. Like you said, everything happens for a reason. So, all right, who is does he have a ritual as far as his favorite meal before a game, or is there something that mom or you have to make for him before he wants to
he just eats.
start?
No, he just eats whatever's available. If it's croissant, if it's a sandwich, if it's a waffle, if it's there and it's not too heavy, he eats it. They usually have a team breakfast at the school before a game, and they have pancakes, waffles. It fits pretty well. So
okay,
he doesn't have any favorites, as long as when he's done with the game, he wants to usually come home and take a nap. So as long as I can do that for him, that's all that matters.
Get to the comforts of home.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have is it a big family, like real close-knit family, that like to get together for watching games on Saturdays, or
yeah,
how's the family dynamic?
Well, definitely close-knit. Usually on Saturdays is my mother, or Mikhail's and our mother, my fiance Donnie, and myself. We go to the games, and we yell and we scream, we cheer on the SJC team. We lose our voices, and then we prepare for the following weekend to do the same thing all over again.
Good deal. I love hearing it. I've been talking to Raisha Sherman, sister of Mekhail Sherman, Georgia commit, 5-star linebacker. Ms. Sherman, we really appreciate you coming on with us. Really enjoyed talking with you. It was really, really fun and enlightening to talk with you, and just having some fun with us. And we certainly wish MJ all the best this year and in his senior year, and certainly look forward to seeing him and you guys all in Athens the next 3 to 4 years. We'll see.
Not a problem. I'll beg for it.
Post some wedding pictures on Twitter. We
I will, honey. I will not deny you of any of this royalty drip, honey. So I'll make sure.
Congratulations.
Your anniversary is going to be 5 days before mine.
Oh, awesome! That's a good month.
Good deal. And what is your Twitter handle for everybody to give you a follow that's listening in?
Okay, just to make sure that I'm not too tired, let me make sure I confirm it, because I don't know if I changed it recently. It is Royalty Drip. No hyphens, no symbols, no nothing like that. It's just Royalty Drip. You can follow me anytime, anywhere, and just hop on the Takeover train where you get to not only live vicariously through me, but you also get to see what I do on a daily basis. So why not?
All right. Good deal. All right. If the guys on the show follow you now, you'll have to give us a follow back, okay?
Definitely.
All right. All right. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have fun this week.
I'll talk to you guys. All right.
All right.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Sweet. Cool catching up with Raisha Sherman. She's a trip, dude. Good job, Jason. Good.
Dude, I'm
getting her on board, getting her on the show for us.
I'm telling you right now, the
interviews are always my favorites, but I always like talking to the family and the recruits. Just getting that perspective of Like when we talked to, Mr. Jenkins and was it Swilly, the lineman? The lineman that walked on it. He was really cool to talk with. Of course, Miss Sherman was real fun. Miss Holloman, we had her on one time. So yeah, that's always fun to talk. I like talking to everybody, but even we always enjoy the perspective of the family members and things like that. So.
Well, I mean, you can tell right now you're going to get a team leader in Mekhail Sherman.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can absolutely tell how grounded he already is and how grounded he's going to be.
Right.
So, I mean, I just add another one to the list. I mean, pretty much every time we have these guys on now, and that's probably a attribute to Kirby Smart and his staff. I mean, they just get more impressive and more impressive.
Mhm. Yeah, no doubt, man.
I mean, I can't remember talking to a recruit or their family on here. God, I know since Kirby Smart took over to where one of my first thoughts was, we'll see. I mean, every single one, it's like, okay, they're going to be good. And I mean, that's not just being nice. I mean, we've had them before Kirby Smart got here. We've had them on before where, I mean, honestly, your first thought is going to be, okay, we'll see if this one works out or not. But I mean, including Mekhail and even the lineman that ended up flipping to A&M. I mean, even him, Bucky. Even him. I mean, it's just. I mean, they get more impressive and more impressive. He's recruiting a certain type of people. I mean, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah, it's definitely a leadership, base with almost every one of these kids that's coming in. Man.
Well, I mean, and that was one reason the whole Holloman ordeal just surprised everybody so much because, I mean, you could absolutely tell they were one of those, just totally grounded and okay. I mean, things happen. People make mistakes, But that's one reason that was so surprising about him.
Yep. All right. What do you guys? Let's talk a little. Hold on. Talk a little.
Dude,
season
you're gonna
preview
make
stuff.
me commit murder.
Is there a volume button on that thing?
Yeah, I can make it louder if you want.
Oh no, we're good.
All right, y'all want to talk just week 0 games, like couple of those games, the Miami and Florida game, obviously, or do you want to go?
No, I want to talk
season preview.
I want to talk
stuff.
I want to talk the next hurricane that hits the East Coast. I'm going to get you to come stay this way again, so I can know where you're living, and I can know where you're sleeping, and I can murder you in your sleep.
Oh, man, you're gonna hear that in your sleep tonight. All right, let's talk a little about this. This has been bugging me for the last month or so. And all these media pundits, the AP voters, I guess, the coaches poll, putting Florida in the top 8. I know they're probably my most despised rival that Georgia has. I guess given proximity and just not standing them, not liking the colors blue and orange, don't really like alligators. I don't like Florida. I don't like Gainesville. I don't like Mullen, Spurrier, Urban Meyer. Tim Tebow, I'm not a huge fan of.
Anything orange?
If it's pretty much Florida, I don't like it. But even given that, where is all this supposed, return? Like, people are saying they're going to possibly be in the football playoff, that they're going to challenge for a national championship, challenge for an SEC championship, challenge for an SEC East championship. I honestly don't see Florida as Georgia's biggest competition in the East. I really don't. I think it's Missouri. I really do. I said that before. It's a combination of somewhat of talent, but also Missouri's schedule. I think they've kind of got some of what Kentucky had last year. If they win a couple of close games even, I think they could, build up some momentum. And their schedule is really pitiful. They, honest to God, should be undefeated coming into Athens. I really think that. And we can go through their schedule if y'all want. We can do it this week. We can do it next week. I don't care. But point is, Missouri's the tougher competition for Georgia in the East this year. Where is this love coming from for Florida? I even heard one of the Florida guys saying Florida has the 2 best cover corners in the country. Not one of the best cover corners. They said both their starting cornerbacks are the best cover corners in the country. The man literally said that.
Drew Lock torched them.
I mean, Drew Lock, yeah, he did that to a lot of people. But first of all, let's hope they don't turn an ankle or wrench it, turn the wrong way on a back pedal, because if they think their top 2 corners are the 2 best cover corners in the country, I hope they don't look at the second and third string cornerbacks behind them, because I don't even know if there is a second or third string, for one thing, because they're that thin in the secondary right now. Did they not lose C.C. Jefferson and most of the defense? I know Ninga's back this year. But I don't see him as a huge difference maker along the defensive front. The linebackers are decent, but they stand out. I'll give them – my biggest worry about Florida is their receivers and P. Ryan. Felipe Franks does not scare me in the slightest as far as going into a game facing Florida. That's not a concern to me, and their offensive line is not a concern to me along the offensive front. They didn't really get much better along the offensive front.
No, they lost some on their offensive line.
Yeah, they lost their best offensive lineman, so I don't know how they're supposed to be better along the offensive front.
Yeah, they lost Ivy and Taylor, and then they lost Gardner Johnson, Jefferson, Polite, and Joseph. So they lost probably their second best DB, and they lost their top tackler.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal with Florida. Here's my deal. My deal with Florida is that I think they're good enough that they're going to be able to play with a lot of people in the first and second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get them down in the third quarter and fourth quarter. You're going to get an offensive line like UGA's, maybe even an offensive line like Auburn's. I mean, doesn't Auburn play Florida this year?
Yeah.
Even Miami's interior offensive line. I think Miami's going to start a true freshman at right and left tackle. But even their interior offensive line. I mean, there's 2 things, and this is the Todd Grantham special. You saw it at Georgia. You see it everywhere he goes. When he's almost done running a defense with everybody else's recruits, the defense starts getting sloppier, and it gets a lot thinner, a lot more thin. I mean, if you look at it right now, they have, I think they might be down to 73, 72. Let's just say 72 because it's an even number.
It's 72.
Yeah. Let's just say 72 and let's just say 36 on offense and 36 on defense, scholarship players right now, just to make it even. out of those 36 on defense, like 12 of them are defensive ends. Like literally, they like 10 to 12 of them play the same position. They have recruited one interior defensive lineman in the last 2 years, and he hasn't even practiced yet. They're basically down to, I think, 6 scholarship defensive backs, and then they're basically down to, I think, 4 scholarship interior defensive linemen, maybe 3 on scholarship. They should be all right at defensive end. They were talking about moving one guy. Like, this is just the fans. They were talking about, well, we can move so-and-so to defensive tackle, but, you know, he only weighs about 280. I'm like, well, you go ahead, because Solomon Kinley's going to eat him for lunch. That's a snack. I mean, go ahead and do what you have to do, but you just be ready for Solomon Kinley, Trey Hill, and whichever 6'7", 330-pounder we decide to play at right guard that game.
Right. I just, man, it just bothers me how much, and I really think I honestly think Florida might be one of, you know, there's always like one or two teams that are come out in the preseason top 10 that just completely, you know, just completely botched the season. You know, I wanted to say something else, but I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. And I honestly think that may be Florida this year. I think they may end up with maybe 3 to 4 losses this year.
Here's what else you can be guaranteed too: Todd Grantham won't be there much longer, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He comes in, and I mean, he can obviously somewhat run a defense. I mean, he's had top defenses everywhere he's went. But I mean, and you get, I mean, you can say the same thing about a lot of them. I'm not sure if he could come into a bad defense.
Nope.
And bring in his own players and basically build it from scratch himself. He stays long enough that it's, you know, first year is a pretty good, you know, decent turnaround. They get a little bit better. Second year, you know, he can obviously coach them up. I mean, you know, he did great with a lot of Georgia players. But, that's what he does. He doesn't recruit enough depth behind those all-stars that he coaches to be able to have them consecutive years. He'll have that big junior, senior that has the big junior and senior year, and then he has nobody to replace them, and then he wears out a stay because he's a loudmouth too, and he's hard to get along with, which I think is obvious. So, I mean, he wears out a stay. He doesn't recruit enough behind the big 1 or 2 years that he has. He'll stay another year. The defense start going downhill. He'll leave, and somebody else has to come behind and fix it and recruit again. I mean, that's what he does. And I mean, it's happening at Florida like clockwork. It happened at Georgia. It happened at Louisville.
Right.
I mean, it's like clockwork. That's what he does.
He's kind of like, to go kind of nerdy, like one of those aliens, to go science fiction, like one of those aliens that come in and inhabit a planet. And then he sucks all the resources out of the planet until there's nothing left, and then he moves on to the next one. I mean, he literally. It's almost he'll have these athletes, and he'll be aggressive. He'll call an aggressive defense. But that's actually one of the things I kind of did like about him. We got smoked because of it some, but I mean that's what he does. I mean, it's like clockwork. All right. Their schedule, real quick. Now, tell me, I see maybe 3 definite wins on their schedule. That's usually unusual for an SEC. You got Miami at Open. That's, to me, that's a toss-up.
Hold on. I'm stopping you here. Here's one thing I heard today. I think it was on College Football Live on ESPN. So I wish I could claim that I came up with this myself, but I didn't. The head coach of Miami is Manny Diaz, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many years has Manny Diaz been on Dan Mullen's staff?
Like 4, maybe?
He's been on Dan Mullen's staff a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
So that's however many, 3-4 years, however many. Every day he saw that offense and knows that offense that he saw, that he coached against every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be severely underestimated aspect of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point.
Line.
I mean, yeah, it could be bad, but I don't necessarily know how good Florida's defensive line is. Everybody talks it up like it's something amazing, but like I said, other than Zaninga, I'm not that sure what they really are bringing back.
I read a report that they're starting 2 freshmen, and we were on a podcast about 9 months ago talking about their offensive line class they were recruiting was garbage.
Wait, who's Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're starting
Miami
2 of those freshmen right now.
Yeah, they're starting 2 true freshmen at left tackle and right tackle. So
supposedly the guy that Jason was making fun of that was 240 pounds, supposedly he gained a lot of weight.
Dude, this fool gained like 70 pounds and is starting, a 240-pounder is starting as a true freshman in Miami because he gained 70 friggin' pounds.
Jeez.
Is he a true or a redshirt freshman?
True.
I think they're both true.
This dude, my gosh, son. I mean, honestly, you gotta think, Miami's gonna do what they can to protect Jaron Williams. Redshirt freshman starting his first game. He was third string last year with Rick. So I mean, they're gonna do everything they can to protect him. So you got to look out for the short passes. They're gonna want to run the ball with DJ Dallas and what's the backup name, Cameron, whatever his name is. I mean, you gotta think they're gonna get the ball a lot. And I mean, I wouldn't think they would just right off the bat try to run it around the tackles. I mean, not if you're smart. They got a couple of good. They got two good tight ends. I mean, they're gonna have to throw it to the tight end some, and help out those freshman tackles. So I mean, I think you'll see a good mix of bubble screens, short passes, hit it deep a couple of times, couple of play actions, and lean on the defense. Because I mean, Miami's defense, I mean, they're always athletic. So I mean, you got the 3 senior linebackers. So I mean, you're gonna lean on them. I mean, their defensive backfield, I think a lot of them are from Miami. So I mean, they're obviously fast and talented. And then a couple of good defensive line players. So I mean, you got to think they're going to lean on the defense a lot with a redshirt freshman quarterback and a freshman right tackle and left tackle. Because I mean, every freshman tackle can't be like Andrew Thomas was.
Right.
And neither one of them are Andrew Thomas, especially the 240-pounder.
No. What do you think about, you know what, I meant to look this up before, but I wonder what Enos's record or performance is against Grantham's defenses in the past, because I'm sure they've hooked up and gone up against each other several times over the years, being, both longtime coordinators, and Enos was a head coach, but I think he was a head coach at Central Michigan. I don't know if they played each other then, but I wonder what his track record is against the Grantham defense and vice versa over the years. Because I know Enos was at Arkansas, and when Grantham was at either Mississippi State or Georgia or in Florida now. Well, and it seemed like it was one other place too. But how can Enos get Phillips ready right away. Obviously, they saw something with him that they liked, to make him the starting quarterback. Jalen, the quarterback for Miami.
My man got the first and last name wrong.
Jaron, whatever it is.
You too busy playing with the horn. Jaron Williams' name.
Jaron Williams.
Push the buzzer.
All right, fine.
Somebody push the damn horn on this guy.
I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of, quarterback reads. They're going to try to use Williams' mobility, and I think he's a solid quarterback. He was a 4-star coming out of high school, so here in Georgia.
Hey, we talked to him a good bit at the end.
Yeah, he's not some schlub coming in there, so I think we may see some swing passes to DJ. Utilize DJ as much as they can out in space and running the ball with him too. But
I think if it wasn't the first game of the season, and Florida had more wear and tear on them, I think Miami and Williams had a little more experience under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would pick Miami, but I think with it being the first game of the season, and Florida not having a ton of wear and tear on them, besides all the guys that got hurt that are obviously out. But
mm-hmm.
but the guys that are there and playing not having a ton, I think Florida's going to be a little too much for them.
Yeah.
If it was like
right now,
six
Florida's
games of the season on. If it was like 6 games of the season on, I'd probably go Miami, but I think Florida's a little too much for them.
Yeah. Florida's favored by 7.5 right now. You take that, or you go with Miami in that case? Okay.
I think Miami's good enough and talented enough, especially on defense, to keep it close. But
hey, get that turnover chain rocking a little bit. Get Felipe to throw a few interceptions. Have him have a couple of overthrows like he did in the cocktail party last year, and we'll see how much Felipe Franks has matured and all this stuff. And I know the hype has built. They always mention those last 3 games or 4 games of last year, but it was against like some 1AA school, a depleted Florida State that was horrendous anyway, and then a Michigan team with all their best players already declared for the draft and not playing. I just think Florida is just way overhyped coming into this season, and I'm looking forward to their downfall this year.
Hey, how about this? I don't give a crap about a Hurricane or a Gator. Who wins the Arizona-Hawaii game?
I don't even. Oh yeah. Tell me this. Do you want to run through this? Let's run through the Florida schedule real quick. You got Miami to open the season. Tennessee Martin, that's a win. They go to Kentucky. I think that's a key game this year for both of those teams. Jason picked Kentucky for 32 years to beat Florida, and then finally last year he gave up on it, and Kentucky won. So, Tennessee goes to the Swamp the week after. Then they play Towson. Okay, that's 2 guaranteed wins. Auburn goes to Florida the following week. Florida goes to LSU. They go to South Carolina. They play Georgia in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
All right, they host Vanderbilt. Okay, but again, you never know. And then they go to Missouri, who beat the crap out of them the last 2 years, and then host Florida State.
Yeah.
I don't see many gimmies there, but I see 2 gimmies. That's it.
That 4-game stretch in the middle, they're losing 3 out of 4. I'd bet money on it.
Auburn, LSU.
No, I'm telling you, I'm about 99% certain that South Carolina is giving them the L. South Carolina wants them bad. I wish I could press that button right now.
I was gonna look up.
Hey, Jason playing going against Terrell in a boxing match. L
W.
Hold on, let me look at Bovada real quick.
I fight too dirty to be in a boxing match.
Oh, UFC, he take you too. He take you back.
I'm straight up taking that knee out first.
You and him on a pay-per-view fight in UFC would be one of those everybody stayed up to 1 a.m. just to watch a 2-minute fight.
Man, if we did that, it would look like, I don't know, it'd look like
running around the ring.
It'd look like a gladiator versus Big Country Roy Nelson. That's what it looked like. It looked like a gladiator versus Butterbean.
Wait, you got hair, Jason?
Hey, this is like Butterbean going out to that knee. You don't know what it feels like when a fat boy rolls a knee. It hurts worse when a fat boy rolls on your knee.
Chop block.
Hey, real quick. Over under is 9 for Florida wins this year.
And that's all you have to say in the first place.
You're guaranteed to push bare minimum.
That's what I think. That is what I think. I think I would definitely take the under on that, if you want to know the truth. That's my point. That's been frustrating me all season, is hearing all this nonsense about them. But anyway, anything?
Hey, you know a fight I would pay to watch? Dan Mullen versus Derek Mason.
Oh, Derek Mason kill him.
Exactly.
Derek Mason will rip his goofy ass shoes off of his feet and shove them down his goofy ass throat.
All right. Anything been bugging you guys as much as that's been bugging me? Probably not, but.
Yo.
Dustin, you got any predictions on the season for opponent, for rivals, or anything like that? Anything you've been thinking about? Or?
For week 0?
Week 0 or just season in general?
Oh, no. We need to go ahead and get Final Fours on the table before people start playing. Jason, you got Final Four?
Hold on. Do we have time for a segment that we used to do before? What grinds my gears?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have 2 minutes?
Yeah. You want your music?
Okay, I get to tell what. No. I don't even need music. Let me tell you this. So everybody knows when I called in, the Central was winning the state championship game, 51-7. Me and the Trevs, and everything was all good. Beat the crap out of Tua's brother, 51-7. Man, everybody knows all that, right? So I was thinking that this Thursday that I would go to Montgomery and watch the defending state champion Central Phoenix City Red Devils face the Hoover Buccaneers. game of the year, possibly a preview of the next state championship at the end of the year, all that good stuff. I mean, D1 prospects all over the field. So I know I told people one of the little side things I was doing was covering sports for the local newspaper, right? So the high school that I get to cover has won, I'm not even kidding, they have a new coach this year, has won 5 games in 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 games in 6 years, right? So I'm going to their game Friday to watch them play another team that the year before last, they scored 28 points the whole season. Like literally 28 points the whole season. I think they were shut out like 8 times. Like, I mean, I'm being like no exaggerating, not even trying to be funny. It's a team that 2 years ago scored 28 points the whole season against a team that has won 5 games in 6 years, and it's the same night at Central Hoover. So not only am I not going to Central Hoover, I'm covering a game for a team that has won 5 games in 6 years against a team that 2 years ago scored 28 points the whole season. And I'm like, I'm calling them, and I'm like, you're paying me double for doing this.
Hazardous duty pay.
Jesus, help me.
Man. Well, hopefully the Central game is going to be at least streamed, right? You can at least maybe watch it on your phone.
I'm going to have my cell phone on the sideline trying to not get run over. And I'm going to do the write-up in the paper, and it's going to be blank.
Do you think who do you think wins, the team that scored 28 points in the whole season, or the team that's only won 5 games in 6 years?
Well, here's the other.
Or is the stadium going to implode?
The new coach of the team that has won 5 games in 6 years used to coach the team that scored 28 points on the season, but he wasn't the coach then. He had them in the playoffs and all kinds of stuff. They were doing like really good when he was there. And then he left, and then they got the coach that scored 28 points. So, I mean, there's all kind of stuff going on there where I'm like, okay, this is interesting, but then it's kind of not.
I think it'll be interesting to watch there, Jason. You should just live stream that game put it on Facebook Live, and you could have a running commentary of it.
What, so everybody hate me? Come on. Okay, that's enough for my
update on the Central game.
That's enough for what grinds my gears. I would rather talk about the tweet that Dustin just sent us about Todd Hartley.
Oh, yeah, Jordan and Pippen giving a high five. Hartley just tweeted that out of a GIF.
Hartley,
who do you think it means?
He knows something. He keeps doing that, doesn't he, Dustin?
Yep, 2 nights in a row.
He keeps doing that. He's up to something. I mean, I don't know. Here's my thing: is he talking about tight ends, or is he talking about Milton and Evans?
Right.
Well,
because here's the thing: Washington is the one that is rumored, a very, very strong rumor, which I honestly think is true, is the one. Washington is the one rumored to be a silent. So did Washington find his guy to play with, or is he talking about Milton and Evans? Because I think Evans is closer to committing than Washington is, and that will give us the dynamic duo that Hartley keeps posting.
Yeah, because he did. Go ahead.
No, you go.
He did post these things like late at night, And last night, those guys on Texas were up at midnight posting that we had crystal balls. So I don't know if stuff happens that late, but you never know.
The Texas A&M mod, and I just happen to be up because usually from like 12 to 1, I work on the website and get the front page stuff and all that. So, I mean, it was like almost 1 o'clock when the Texas A&M guy got on. The Texas A&M mod for 247 got on and put in his pick. I mean, that was literally like almost 1 in the morning.
And then the Texas guy was 8 minutes later.
So I want to know if Hartley's talking about tight ends or running backs, or maybe he's just letting Jordan pivot. I mean, I don't know.
But I will say 3 of the last 4 posts that Hartley has liked has been Theo Johnson stuff. But I'm not going to read too much into it.
I'm telling you right now, even if you get 1 out of 3, you got to be pretty satisfied. But if we get 2 out of 3, Johnson, Washington, and Reed, I mean, my God, son. I mean, you never, ever, ever want to lose an in-state 5-star, hardly ever. But, like, this is the year where it's like, hey, we lose that in-state 5-star. I mean, we just grab 2 more. I mean, what the heck, dude?
Mm-hmm. The dude can get 12 feet up in the air with his catch radius.
Bro. Man, so y'all about to give me a Theo Johnson kick again. You better change the dang topic. You better hit the dang horn or whatever.
I still think there's a scenario, and it could definitely happen and play out like this. There's a scenario that Johnson comes to the Notre Dame game, falls in love, and does something within the next week, and Gilbert don't got a spot.
Okay, I could actually see that. I thought you were about to come up with some scenario where we get all 3, and I was like, come on, Dustin.
No, I mean, I think they would spread everything out and try to get him on there and tell somebody no, but Gilbert, that's just not his, he wouldn't want to go there with all 3 of them.
No.
Jason, you got any predictions for the upcoming year from either rivals? Oh, do you want to do our? If you have one, go ahead. If not, we'll go ahead and do our Final Four.
Okay. Yeah, I actually have one. It won't take long. Then we can do Final Four.
All right.
Auburn loses every game 50-0.
Like them this year. It's not a
Florida's going to be the 50-0.
Yes, this is the year for it. Freshman quarterback. They're going to be so bad they're going to try Derek Brown at quarterback. And my Final Four is going to be, I mean, it's easy. It's what everybody else's is. Clemson, Alabama, Georgia. But my 4th team is Utah.
Ugh.
What's your number rankings on those?
I keep hearing that. Hold on. Go ahead and answer that.
Well, it's according to what they do, because it's according to how they do it. It's going to be more than likely Clemson 1, the winner of the SEC Championship 2, and just because the team would have 1 loss, and the loss would be recent, and they wouldn't want to rematch, Utah 3 and the loser of the SEC Championship 4.
So you're not going to pick who the winner is?
This year, I would go Clemson 1, UGA 2, Utah 3, Alabama 4. and they would pick to do an Alabama-Clemson rematch before they would Alabama and Georgia playing each other back-to-back. And I'm going with what a lot of the so-called experts, people that are on TV now, are saying, is that this is the year that Georgia beats Alabama. And the reason for that is because, number one, Tyler Simmons steps up at wide receiver. Number two, Zoo steps up at running back, and that's what's going to take us over the top. I think we have just as good of a defense this year as Alabama, and I think our defense is deeper this year than theirs. So. And I think the offense is comparable. So Clemson 1, Georgia 2, Utah 3, Alabama 4.
All right. Dustin, you want to give yours now, or you want to wait till next week?
Nah, I got the same train of thought. I got Clemson 1, Georgia 2. I got 3 is Texas, and I got 4 is Bama. I got Clemson beating Bama and Georgia beating Clemson.
All right. I like the same 3. My 4th, though, is still haven't quite figured it out, but I think I'm going to go former Georgia quarterback.
If you say one team, I'm never going to talk to you again.
He'll say Notre Dame.
Washington Huskies.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I mean, they have a tough enough schedule, but it's not too daunting, I don't think. Obviously, they got Stanford, Oregon, Utah, and then, of course, Washington State at the end. You never know. But I think I'm going to go Washington right now just because I think Eason's going to help step up. I don't even know if he's going to be named the starter yet, to be honest. I think he is. But
I was just about to say there's one issue with that. He hadn't quite beat out the other guy.
I know.
Actually, I would love for Eason to bring Washington to the playoffs.
I would too. But I really don't know.
They would absolutely get
yet,
Washington would absolutely get smoked by any of the other 3 teams, but I would still love to see them.
I agree. I think it's a very definite line between the top 3 and everybody else right now until we get into the season. But it's here, y'all, and everything gets started up this Saturday. In the meantime, check out fieldstreetforum.com, fieldstforum.com. Check out the front page with all the news, recruiting news, dog news that you can stand. Jason keeps it all updated and rocking and rolling. Get the Classic City chat and the current date for the most up-to-date and current discussion and talk on there. Give us a follow on social media at Field Street Forum, Field ST Forum. Give me a follow at The Real Dre. Give Dustin a follow at DWoody15. Give Raisa Sherman a follow at Royalty Drip. Is that right, Dustin? I believe that's right. So appreciate Playbook Athlete. Check out their website, playbookathlete.com. Also on Twitter. Also, just a quick mention, I know I don't think anything to it yet, but just check out bigheadmedia.com as well. So I think that's about it for this week. Till next week, we will have actual football. It will be Georgia game week next week. Till next week.
I'm in the mood for a yes, sir.